idea that like attracts like. When it comes to choosing lovers, do we subconsciously pick people who look a bit like ourselves?
We do end up picking people who are very similar to us at the start. Like if you rate yourself a 7, you'll look for another 7 because we don't feel comfortable. If you're a 2, you're not going to feel comfortable with a 10 and vice versa. So we tend to pick people who are quite similar physically.
That's the theory anyway. Nothing to do with magical sexual chemistry and all about knowing your place in the pecking order. Naturally, we wanted to put it to the test. First off, we found 3 guys and asked them to rate their own attractiveness out of 10. They said 6, average, 7, above average, and 9, hot. Then we asked 5 girls to rate themselves out of 10 for attractiveness. Join in at home. Would you rate them the same?
Probably 5, about 5, 6, 6.5 maybe. 7, I suppose I get a few looks occasionally. Probably about 6. I'm not completely hideous, but not Kate Moss either.
We thought the girls were very hard on themselves. At the very least, they were modest. But the sexual experts say they're doing this for a reason.
Women should know what men find attractive, because there's no point in a woman wasting time pursuing a super attractive male if she's not also very attractive, because he'll just disappear after a while. Also, there's no point in her pursuing someone who's not very good looking, suggesting don't have very good genes, because she could be getting better genetic quality from another man.
We asked the modest girls to tell us which of the 3 men in our lineup they would choose for a long-term relationship. If only picking someone up was as easy as this in real life.
This one. I'd have a long-term relationship with this guy. This gentleman here. I would be most likely to have a relationship with him.
So, our girls, who rate themselves as average, have all picked the average-looking guys rather than the good looker on the right. Why? Because they're being practical and thinking that the better-looking the bloke, the more likely he is to have a wandering eye.
I reckon he likes himself too much and he'll be out looking at other women if he was out with me.
He's most attractive in a very visual way, but I would say most likely to be a bit more cocky.
From my own experience of guys who are really good looking, I think to a degree they don't think they have to try as hard. They think, I wonder if they think it's enough for them just to be seen on your arm or you seen on their arm.
My experience is don't avoid attractive people, no, enjoy them and look at them, but also realise that you're not going to get very far with them.
So, now to do the same test with the boys. Here are our girls for the guys to choose from. They rated themselves as 7, average, 8, above average, and finally a stunning 9. Time for the guys to rate themselves. Will they show the same modesty and realism about their own looks as the girls did?
I'd probably say a 6.
Around 6 or 7.
A 7.
Self-image, probably an 8.
Out of 10, I would give myself a 10, because I think I'm really good looking.
Modest? Realistic? Not really. So, who would they choose as a long-term partner? Will they go for one of the 2 average-looking girls? Or the stunning but wholesome beauty queen?
On the whole, guys tend to be attracted to feminine-looking faces and very youthful-looking faces. When thinking about a longer-term relationship, they will give some consideration to personality attributes that might make the woman a good mother, but on the whole, they tend to be very much driven by the way a woman looks.
I have more of a long-term relationship with this girl, because you've got a lovely smile and I like your dress sense.
They're all beautiful ladies, but I'd say the lady on the right.
A long-term relationship with that one.
I would have more of a long-term relationship with this lady.
The one I could see myself marrying and having a long-term relationship is that one there, because she's a proper salt, really.
Conclusion. Guys who pump up their own estimation of themselves want to box way over their weight, and they go for the really hot totty when they haven't got a chance in hell. Mad fools. But how much do looks matter in the end anyway? Once you've hitched up with someone and are living a life of domestic bliss and dancing around the living room on a daily basis, truth is you start to morph into one another and look alike anyway. Of course, being able to spot who's going out with who can be extremely useful if you're about to chat one of them up. So, do couples grow to look alike?
There's considerable evidence that we tend to find people who look like us attractive. And so it's not surprising that when you take couples, there's quite a lot of similarity. What's more intriguing is that as they spend more and more time together, they actually tend to grow alike.
You see, we're not just imagining it. There's something really going on here. They're like peas in a pod. Or is it just smug marriedness?
We humans have an amazing ability to copy each other's facial expressions. Even a newborn baby, when someone peers over and smiles at it, will copy the smiling facial expression or will pull the same faces. So if you scale this up with two couples who are looking at each other all the time, copying each other's facial expressions, it means that they're likely to smile in the similar way, which means they're using the same muscles, which means that very similar wrinkles and furrows will develop on their faces.
Take 5 couples who've all been together for a number of years. Can you spot those telltale similarities? Is it in the clothes, the haircut, the gesture, the smile? We showed a tape of the couples chatting to each other to our psychologist. With the help of a tape, could he correctly match photographs of our couples?
Often couples who've been together for quite a while will start to mirror each other's body language. And we're seeing a little bit of that with some of the couples here. They're holding the same kind of poses, holding their drinks in the same way, and so on. So that may be a signal that the people who are doing that sort of mirroring are together. And so far we haven't really seen anything that looks like very comfortable coupling behaviour.
Looks like our man's struggling a little. Can you do any better in our game of Match the Couple? Okay, that's enough. Time's up. Take a final look. So here's the top secret envelope containing the truth about who is matched with whom.
Have a look. Okay. First up, we have Christine and Colin. So that's not exactly as I had it. I had Colin and Lynette. So, in fact, these two folks go together. So with the power of hindsight, you might argue they have similar shaped noses, I guess, but missed that one, so that's a thumbs down. Next up is Trina and Len, which I actually did put together. So that's a good result. Over here we've got Trevor and Lynette. I didn't spot that. Elisa and Mario is exactly as I paired those two. And finally Peter and Nancy. So that's 3 out of 5.
Not bad. So maybe couples do start to look a little bit like one another over time, which is fine if you're Wayne Rooney, but presumably not so fine if you're Colleen. Don't say we didn't warn you, Colleen. So, what have we learned in our attempts to get more shagtastic?